Oh, tough. Alright, performance. Performance! Now, one thing I have to tell you about, a bit of context about this kind of car, is that above 90 or 100, this kind of thing has the aerodynamics of a cow, of a box. So this kind of thing, if you feel a little bit shaky at 100, 110, know that in a Prado it happens also. Yeah. You know. But that being said, wow, I have been treating this thing like a
and it's completely fine.
It's fine, way.
Yeah.
Now, I have to say this. I come from FJ.
Yeah.
FJ is tougher physically. You feel that toughness in the metal, in the bushings. You feel that, but it's 20% tough. It's not 100% tougher. You want to know how tough this car is, or the FJ is, or a Land Cruiser is? It's very simple. If you're stuck in a traffic jam, a tree fall in front of you, would you dare go through this curb to the other side of the road? It's very simple. Do you have to think about it? If you have to think about it and you have to look at it and then plan the angle, your car is not tough enough. It's as simple as that. Yeah. In a Land Cruiser, in a Prado, in a FJ, in a Wrangler, you see, you do. Yeah. Full stop. You don't think. You don't need to think, oh, can I? No, you can. Nothing is going to stop you. But this car, all you need to do is, okay lah, let's do it lah. Okay, let's do it. Let's make sure that, you know, I don't scrape my rim a little bit, so I turn my steering a little bit more. That's it. So that consideration is just a little bit more. Yeah. So that 20% toughness is the difference between a Land Cruiser that is 80 years old, heritage, and this young upstart.
Yeah, it's engineered to be a bit more of a
on-roader.
Yeah, and also it's very tech focused.
Yeah.
So while the Land Cruiser doesn't have any ADAS or anything to worry about, this thing has to have an electronic power steering.
Right.
Which means,
you know, some of these things may not be as tough as a rack and pinion. Yeah.
Maybe the Toyota thing is just so simple and it's been done for so many generations that they just know how much steel to put inside.
Yeah.
Here it's like, okay, we'll do a simple overall design, but you just don't know if they've done it to the same level.
Right.
That's it. But because confidence-wise, we don't know. This could be tougher than the Toyota.
We don't know.
It's just that it doesn't have the history to.
Yeah, it doesn't have the history to prove it.
Yeah.
And I'm judging it from the feel that I get driving an FJ over here.
Yeah. And also we know that a Fortuner or something like that would have some roots in pickup truck.
Right.
Which, you know, has to be tough. It has to be utilitarian.
Right.
Go through estate, all that.
Right.
This car does not have that background.
Right.
It just has a leather chassis and nothing else to, like, you know, compare.
Correct. But from what I feel,
it's there.
It's there. It's like everything that you would do. You know, in fact, you can do more here than you would want to do in a Fortuner.
Yeah.
Because a Fortuner, despite its toughness, a Fortuner doesn't have the capability. Because it's too long and narrow. It's a pickup.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? Yeah. Whereas in a proper SUV, you need that squareness. You get what I mean? You need the squat, right? And this car has that squat.
Yeah.
It's just that how tough it is, actually, we don't know lah. Again, like at most FJ owner, unless you are off-roading it as a toy, most of the time you are using it 90% on the city. Yeah. It's that 10% of the time when you're running through a flood, or you saw a shortcut and goes like, you know what, this traffic jam is not helping, I'm just going to cut through here. That 10% buys you the freedom that you will not be able to get in a normal SUV. And that 10%, I feel that here, even though it may not feel as tough as an FJ. So in that sense, I can't really complain. In fact, I have to praise it because its on-road behavior is at worst on par with FJ. In a lot of aspects, actually a bit better.
I think NVH is a little bit better.
A little bit better.
The comfortable 70-80 speed of this car is a bit slower than FJ.
Is it?
FJ felt
about 100.
Yeah. FJ felt very comfortable at 90.
Yeah.
I think because the engine displacement is just so.
It's so huge, right? And the torque is just immediate, right?
Correct. This one feels
because it's a 2-liter turbo.
It's a 2-liter turbo.
So you don't get that effortless torque, right?
Yes. And once you get to speed, it likes to sit around 60 to 70.
I see.
It can of course go a bit higher, and I'm sure it'll learn to relax once it's 90. But the natural speed of this car is like 60 to 70.
So 60 to 70.
Which in town use I think is perfectly fine.
Decent, it's decent.
The thing is, most 250,000 ringgit cars,
Yeah.
which means entry-level Mercedes,
Right.
entry-level BMW,
Right.
would be more comfortable driving a little bit faster than that.
Okay, of course.
So
of
if
course.
you have this kind of money and you're thinking like, oh, I want a car that I can zoom around, even an X50 would feel a little bit more.
a bit more, but remember, the moment you have this capability, you don't have that.
Yes.
Unless you reach a Land Cruiser. You get what I mean? But then your operational cost is madness. Because you've got to have fat wheels, huge tires, just to have that stability.
Yeah.
Right?
So if you're coming from, let's say, a 3 Series or 1 Series, and yeah, this car is giving you a lot of value in a lot of other ways, you have to still remember that you're losing that brisk pace.
Yeah.
That actually nowadays a lot of people take for granted.
Right.
The moment you can buy a Civic, you're getting that already.
Yeah. I mean, most modern cars
Have that.
have that. Yeah. That is something that, you know, hardcore SUVs do not get right unless you reach the Defender level. But then you're paying through your nose.
Yeah.
I like this actually because it has that 10% is freedom. It's my freedom.
Yeah.
It's like I know wherever it is, I just lock 4-wheel high, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Right?
Some genuine durability.
Correct.
That nowadays is no longer guaranteed in passenger cars.
It's rare. And the best part about the whole thing is you still get that modern comfort.
Yes.
Like a brick hole.
Yeah, dude, I mean, the fact that you have 360 camera that is
Right.
that clear.
Right. And then you have proximity sensor, you have ADAS, you have electronic control, multi-zone aircon.
Yeah, Apple CarPlay.
Apple CarPlay.
Literally 90% of what you expect in a almost luxury passenger car
It's
you
here.
get here.
So now, power, what are we talking about here?
This is 220 horsepower,
220, 380 Newton meters of
380
torque.
Newton meters of torque.
Okay, so now it's not underpowered,
Yeah.
but it's a turbo. So it builds its power a little bit, right? You have to build it a little
Yeah.
bit.
And the weight, this car is 2.1 or 2.2 tons.
That's not heavy by today's EV standard. To be honest.
It's not, but EV's got that instant torque, you know?
Right.
And all the weight is down low. This one is like, the weight is everywhere. Lah.
I'm not going to do too much stupid stuff.
Yeah.
Let's just turn hard a little bit, alright? It's okay. It understeers.
Yeah.
But it's okay. I'm pretty satisfied. Power-wise, it's okay. It's decent. It has enough power for you to overcome most traffic obstacles that you need to overcome. 0 to 100, what, 8 seconds?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't
I
matter.
didn't look it up because
It reaches.
It'll reach lah.
It'll reach.
Yeah.
It's not slow, you know. It's powerful.
They have other options.
Right, the 3-litre
There's
V6.
a 3-litre V6,
Right.
which is a hybrid.
Right.
And then they also have a diesel, 2.4-litre turbo diesel, which in Malaysia I think won't fly.
Yeah.
You know, people nowadays are so conscious about diesel prices for a good reason.
Right.
I don't think it would have worked, even though it's probably the better car to drive, 2.4 diesel. I think the 2-litre turbo petrol is familiar territory.
Right.
People are already comfortable with petrol turbo.
Right.
And pricing for RON 95 for now is okay.
It's still okay. In
Still
6 months' time, it's a different story, man.
Yeah. So, and it's enough power just to move the car.
It's enough. It's enough. It's brisk.
Yeah.
It's not slow. There is no clumsiness. It's brisk. So, what's your performance score?
Performance score, it's... what would I give it? I think the only weakness of this car, in terms of performance, is that the cruising speed and the getting to speed is a little bit less than what you would expect.
There's a bit of effort there.
It's a little bit of effort, and I just think that in this price point, I think a lot of people who can afford cars like this have already been spoiled by cars that so effortlessly give you power, especially when they say
In today.
when they give you figures like this, when they say, oh, we have 380 Newton meters of torque, your expectation is BMW 330 or at least 320 or 325 kind of feel.
Yes.
You are not getting that kind of feel at all.
No, you're getting a 325.
I wouldn't even say that. You're getting the feel of an FJ Cruiser that has a small engine.
Small turbo engine.
Yeah,
yes.
small turbo engine.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say it's inadequate.
Yeah.
It's definitely enough to move this car.
Right.
And to get it to speed and to keep going and all that, and fuel efficiency and all that. It's just that I think it's a bit below expectation in that sense.
Right.
But it's not a fault of this format.
Okay.
No one else can give you better.
No, you have not much choice.
There's always a compromise.
Yeah, there is, because otherwise the taxes, if you give you a 3.5 litre or 3 litre, your taxes will be mad.
Correct. And I still think this is the best option. Anyway, so performance score is a 4. It's a 4. I think
GWM bought you very good dinner.
they bought me Starbucks. What's your score for performance?
Oh, performance.
You have more context because you have Fortuner.
Okay, I have Fortuner, I have FJ, right? I would say this is 20% less lovable than a 4-litre V6, but this is 2,000 years ahead of the 2.7 petrol.
Yeah. But in the steering feel and all that.
Okay, compared to FJ, 80% of FJ toughness. Sharpness a bit more than the FJ, a bit more modern, because after all, FJ is a 20-year-old product. They just keep making it, right? Sharpness is more modern, everything more modern, but the toughness is 80% that of the FJ. So, is it replacing the FJ? In 80% of the time, it is. You get me? Yeah. It's a better car than an FJ most of the time. For me, 3.9. The 0.1 is taken away from that toughness. I don't feel it is as tough as the Land Cruisers. But I'm comparing to fucking Land Cruisers! Bro, that's the benchmark, you know. You can't, who else is there to beat? We keep comparing to the cream of the crop, you know.
We should compare it against its price rival.
Exactly.
Which is value segment now.
Yeah.
Suzuki
Value.
Jimny. Jesus Christ. The first time I saw
lah.
this car in the wild in Malaysia was at Bukit Jalil Pavilion.
Right.
Suzuki Jimny showcase.
Alright.
Okay, so I walk past that. I'm like, okay, I get the appeal, but people spend 200k on this car.
They do, I see a few.
Yeah, but maybe they buy grey market.
But it is definitely grey. No, initially it's only...
So initially from Nazar, it's 200k touching. So I looked at it, I'm like, okay, I can see the appeal, but it's a bit too expensive for what
it's a 90,000 ringgit car.
It is. Then I walked down the mall,
right,
and literally within eyesight, I see this car. And I'm like, how much is that? That's 250.
Forget it.
Forget the Jimny.
Yeah.
You're getting a brand new car. Warranty is probably a bit longer also.
Right.
Of course, a lot more sophisticated, a lot more things can break.
Sure.
But the size, it's literally like at least 2 sizes bigger.
You know, Jimny is designed for that guy who has the need but not the money.
Yes.
You know what I mean? He has that need for that roughness, but he doesn't have... because if you've driven FJ, 1 kilo is 40 cents.
Yeah. No, this is my second part of my values, and the first part is that just against its price rival, what people are expected to pay for a car of this class, a proper SUV off-roader.
Right.
You are getting more than 50,000 ringgit worth of value added.
Way more. Just size itself is already more
This
than
is usable. This can replace your only car.
Right.
A Jimny, I don't think can. You will always need another car if you have a Jimny.
Yeah.
This car can 100% replace it. It can pamper you because it has that comfort and a touch of luxury.
Yeah.
It has all the equipment.
Right.
And all the safety features.
Right.
I think Euro NCAP is 5-star.
Wow.
In Australia NCAP is 5-star.
Okay.
Which MG5 can't even get 1 star. Everything in here is like it's more than what you need. Whereas the Jimny is a compromised product.
Very. No, it's a 90,000 ringgit product.
And then you have the other side of the argument, which is when you compare against FJ, against Range Rover, Defender and all that, you know, when you compare those against this, of course, those are
better.
If you are a T20 or even a
T5.
T5.
That's a T5 car.
If $500,000 is nothing to you,
you won't be looking at this car.
Then don't look at this car.
Yeah.
I understand you want the best. You cannot handle steering that is a bit off. You cannot handle a brand that people will
never heard of.
Never heard of. If you cannot handle that, I understand.
Yeah.
Because that Defender was made for you.
Yeah.
G-Wagon was made for you. But for the upper M40s, this is like a almost no-brainer product.
It's a no...
Because there's no competition.
Yeah. There's no competition.
And whatever closest recon competition, which is the FJ Cruiser, does not deliver the comfort and luxury of this car.
It's a different level because the FJ is a recon. If it's brand new here, even if you can get it, it will be 400,000-500,000.
Yeah.
So this is superb value. Yeah, so what's your score for value?
Value, even though it's the most expensive ICE Chinese car, I think value-wise, this was the niche that the Japanese neglected in Malaysia.
Yeah.
And so it has to be more than 4.
Oh.
I mean, if you are looking at this car because you have 250,000 ringgit to spare and you want a car in that price range, might not be the car for you.
Right.
But if you are looking for an off-roader, this is 100% the best in class. So contextually speaking, it's a 4.5. But non-contextually speaking, it's not that good lah. You know,
it's like a 3.8,
it's like
3.9.
3.8, yeah.
Okay. At at 200 plus a bit, 220 to 230, this would have flown a lot more. But that much only lah, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think the market is that big.
It's not that big because most people want...
they want a soft-roaded SUV.
Yeah, that's what they want. They want a soft-roader. They are plain Jane. Most people are plain Jane. The average IQ is 100. Resources are always limited. You know, sometimes you have to ask, do you need to? If money no problem, you make six-figure salary a month, sure, you know, go and buy yourself a G-Wagon. But the rest of us, 99.9% of Malaysian, this is good deal, man. I would say it's a 4 out of 5, bro. It's the taxes that made it a bit unnecessarily expensive. But the effort-wise in making this possible, only GWM dares.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a good deal, man. It's a 4, man. For me, it's a 4.5.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think so. I mean, it's not for everyone, for sure.
Yeah.
Even I would question buying this because I got parents to drive around once in a while.
I would buy this second hand.
No, like, I mean, think about it. I can't drive my parents in this car. My dad literally cannot. He can't climb into a car.
Oh.
I've tried before. It's difficult for him.
Oh.
So
okay.
I would stop myself from buying this.
Oh.
And also I wouldn't spend that much money on the car anyway.
No, that's second hand. Nowadays, Chinese cars still depreciate a lot.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
Autophiles.
Autophiles signing out of Tank 300.